Hi, welcome to the Newton Shred Multicast, episode 1. If you want to hear more about me, Alex Arrington, your host, and Newton Shred, please check out episode 0, which should also be online. We're going to be covering quite a few things. This is the first episode, as it were, so we're going to have stuff going on about events, kind of products, just general kind of news, and it's not going to happen today, but down the line I'm going to get some people in to do interviews with, which I'm really excited about. So this is going to be going out live, well, not live necessarily, but it's going to be sent out on YouTube and Vimeo accounts, iTunes as a podcast if I can get it sorted out in time. It's going to be hopefully transcribed and put onto our blog so you can read it as well as like listen to and watch if you want. Facebook, no doubt, going to upload a video to that and add all the other links in, and I'll try and do like I mentioned on Instagram, and if it works out okay, I'm going to try and live stream these on Periscope, which is an app made by Twitter people basically, where you can just live stream video and audio. So we've got a few different sections here and they're going to get cracking. So I'm basically going to do these without actually editing it. It's going to be all pretty raw, as it were. So I'm going to make mistakes. I'm going to do some other stuff like swear. You're just going to have to deal with it. So the first section is one I like to call What's Up? Just dealing with events. So let's see. Sorry, got a whole bunch of notes here. We had Hog Hill on the weekend. This is the third Hog Hill event of the year. It was called Hogtoberfest, and apparently it's the 5th Hogtoberfest. Damn, I'm old. I can actually remember there being that many. If you don't know what Hog Hill or where Hog Hill is or what it is, basically Hog Hill is a cycle track out in Essex. It's within the M25, so it's still London, and they have a couple of nice hills and some pretty good surface. And there are a few events organised there every year, and they cover downhill racing. Obviously there's just like a general free ride as well. 2 slide jams, 1 hard wheel, 1 soft wheel. What else do we have? We have a dance competition, a buttboard race, hybrid slalom, which is always absolutely killer there, and giant slalom. So it's a pretty action-packed weekend. So it went down on the weekend just gone, which I think was the 10th and 11th. There were over 200 riders, and it was pretty nuts. I, for one, actually didn't even get a chance to go down the hill because I was just kind of busy working the shop a lot of the time. I did manage to sneak away for a couple of quick skates around the top of the track, but not as many as I would have liked. I've got some news from the event for you, which I'll cover later in another section. So yeah, overall it was a great event. Loads of people had fun. The weather was pretty awesome. Newton Shred Shop was there. We sold some stuff. People bought stuff. They skated it. Win-win. So really, I just want to tell you about an event that's coming up this weekend on the 17th of October. Now that's a Saturday. And what this event is it's a long distance charity push. It's just a bit of a weird thing. Basically, it's a 13-mile push from Bath to Bristol, and it's in aid of the Click Sergeant, which is it's like a charity that helps out kids who have cancer and like their parents, just to kind of get through all the harsh stuff that actually is cancer. It's pretty nasty. So yeah, it's in aid of a very good cause. So if you want to go ahead and sign up, we've got all the details on our blog. So you go to newtons-shred.co.uk, or if you just type in Bristol Board Meeting 2015, it's probably going to come up, especially if you type that into Facebook. So just a few kind of notes on the event. So it's starting in the Bath Green Park, or the Green Park in Bath, at around 11 AM, and that's when we all kind of kick off from there, and we're going to start the 13-mile skate to Bristol. It's I've done it once before. It starts along a nice canal, and then it kind of turns into this defunct railway track that's obviously been paved over and turned into a cycling track. For the most part, it's pretty flat. At some points there are some very, very gradual inclines. There's at least 1 or 2 pretty cool tunnels. So I've been told that halfway there's going to be a pop-up slide jam on a hill that has 3 little hairpins or so, and then at the end of the push we're going to end up at a bowl/skate park in Bristol, where there's also going to be a raffle that has a whole bunch of prizes from a whole bunch of the sponsors, of which Newton Shred is one. And yeah, you can win some skate gear pretty cheap. So what I recommend you do is you go to justgiving.com/Lush Longboards 2015, and that'll take you to the page where you can donate some money. So we recommend every rider kind of donates, you know, like 10 quid towards the cause. It's a very, very worthy cause, and we highly recommend you get on it. Okay, so that's that. Next up we have the hot shit section, and that's where I get to talk about products, all the products that come in and out of Newton Shred. We are a skate shop after all. So let's see, these should hopefully be on the website very soon. We have a couple of models from Slide Perfect Wheels, which is actually a brand from one of the Newton's family members, Bodie Keane, down in, I think, where is he, Plymouth or something. So we've got the Momentums, which I believe are 62 millimeters roughly. No, not the Momentums, which one are these? The Revolutions. And then the Momentums, which I believe, oh, how big are these? Damn. I don't even know, 72 millimeters and stuff. They're a pretty slippery urethane, apparently lots of good fun. Get on them soon if you like them or you already know what they are. We also have, coming straight from California, although made in Mexico, the Street Plant brand by Mike Vallely. This is actually the first brand that he seemingly had full control of, and he's coming out with some really good stuff. It's all manufactured by the Professor Schmidt Sticks factory in Mexico, although they do most of the prototyping and working on stuff in I think San Diego workshop or something. So we have a whole range. I'm just going to show you a couple right now. Here's the Never Comply, which I think is like 8.5 inches wide. Wheelbase is around the 14.5 inch kind of point. Some pretty sweet graphics. And we also have one of, I said, like the range that we have. We have the modern barnyard shape, and this one I think is 8.375. Yeah, 8.375. It's a very functional double kick board, obviously reproducing the old graphic you may have seen on his World Industries deck, I think it was, but updated for, yeah, there you go. It doesn't say World Industries anymore, it says Street Plant. So I'll touch on Mike Vallely and Street Plant a bit later on in this episode. Not necessarily like a brand new item to the shop, but we recently got Amish washers back in stock. These precision washers help basically just firm up some of your bushings so you can go up like a Duro or so if you put these in, especially with Venoms. They're a bit of a tight fit. They actually aid by giving pressure from the inside of the bushing outwards. Makes it pretty handy for roadside bushings to actually get a bit more return to center from them. Okay, let's see. So that's the kind of new stuff that's arrived. We got some stuff on sale, pretty cheap prices for most of you, thanks to certain suppliers, just basically discounting some goods. I don't have them to hand, but we have the Bear ceramic bearings going pretty cheap, down to £45 a set from £80 retail. That's pretty freaking cheap. We also have Cult Classics. These wheels here in a couple of different colorways. Basically, there's a graphic update going through, and all the old graphics are just going out at a cheaper price. So you get a nice, good quality wheel at a bargain price. Win-win. And yeah, news just in from ABEC 11. They are going to be releasing a bunch of new products at some point in the near future. I would guess holidays or spring. And ABEC 11 gumballs, 77mm free rides are being discontinued, so we're going to have those on sale in our shop pretty soon. I think other items that were being discontinued on their lineup were the Reflex free rides, which we don't stock, but if you want some grippy free rides, then go for it. The inverts wheel in both formulas, I think the squirts. I should have probably written it all down because it would have been much easier to tell you, right? Oh yeah, all the Sublime power slides are going. Yeah, there's a bunch of other things. So whatever we have or that we see on sale, we'll pass the savings on to you, no doubt. And then yeah, just want to talk about some of the stuff we have coming in. Like most of this kind of stuff we'll either pre-order or is just about to arrive. Definitely a very hot ticket item are Zealous bearings. You say, Alex, why are you talking to me about Zealous bearings? Zealous bearings have already been out on the market for ages. What are you talking to me about? I'm talking about Zealous ceramic bearings. maybe I could have just zoomed in. I don't want to do any editing. Basically, Zealous have finally released hybrid bearings. They're going to have ceramic balls inside the usual stainless steel inner and outer race with double seals. And it's just like, why are we even going to sell these? Because we're going to sell you 1 or 2 sets and you're not going to buy more bearings. I should really complain to Zealous, because this is a very, very bad move on their behalf. But yeah, we think they're going to be going for about £28 or so. Don't hold me to it, we'll have to see what our final exchange rate is. And another thing would be the Carver Concave wheels, which will be pretty interesting. They offer extreme amounts of grip. Now, we wouldn't recommend these necessarily for lots of downhill applications, but more your kind of slalom and kind of like tight turns, they're really going to have like a good amount of flex and compression into whatever surface you're riding on. So yeah, we're pretty stoked on those, because some of us here are big Carver heads, and I say some of us here, there's 2 people here, and I'm a big Carver head and the other guy isn't. Okay, I'm pretty stoked, and all the customers we have who love Carver are pretty stoked as well. So that's the kind of that's the hot shit section done. Basically, I'm always going to swear when I talk about this section because it is pretty hot shit. So I'm going to move on to the next section, which is the new section, and I like to call this section Dishonorable Mentions. I might have like a little jingle go over that. No, okay. So I want to talk about Hog Hill once again. Basically, Newton's family. We have so many people in the family. It's pretty nuts. I try and think like, how many people do we have? I don't even want to know, because that means I have to spend like at least 10 minutes counting. But with that many riders, it's no doubt it's not a surprise that we have quite a few people in the podiums at Hog Hill. Let's see. So first up, we have Fred Shepherd, who joined the Newton's family earlier this year. He's taken first place in the soft wheel slide jam, and I think he's basically won the slide jam like 3 times in a row this year. I think he should probably be like a judge for next year. Why don't you? I mean, yeah, come on. Then James Allen, who also joined the Newton's family this year, long-time supporter. I love that guy. I think he came first in the hard wheel slide jam on some, hopefully, I think some pretty fresh 95A Earthwing Slide A's that he picked up that same day. Then we have Aaron Skippings. He's been in the family for, I don't know, at least like 2 years now. 2013? Yeah, I guess 2 years. He came in, I believe, 2nd or maybe 3rd place in the open downhill category. Props, man. It was a pretty fierce crowd. Funny, actually. Shane Fury, who basically, I'm pretty sure it's Shane who came in first. Shane, I love Shane. Real nice guy. I hardly ever see him skate. The guy is just busy working loads and stuff and whatnot. But when he always comes out to like a Hog Hill, he's always like a kind of top contender. This is like one of those things that is pretty nuts. Like him and his brother Liam, they're both from like South Africa and stuff, where they've like, you know, just been in the past like honing their skills to like such a very high level on some crazy ass roads and stuff. And it's come to London, and they've been here a while, don't get me wrong, but even though you don't see them out much, they still just kill it. It's absolutely amazing. But yeah, sorry. Props to Aaron. Well done, dude. And once again, props to Aaron for coming in first place in the, I think it was British Freeride Cake Luge Open Championships. It had a very silly long title, but that's our friends over at Dangerous Decks who love to do that kind of thing. Pete Davies, much respect to that guy. What else? Oh yeah, I saw a video recently that I definitely think you should check out if you love downhill. If you go to skatehousemedia.com, so skatehousemedia.com, all one word, there should basically be still, if you're watching this fairly recently, a video from North Carolina filmed by Alex Armin. And if you don't know Alex Armin, you should definitely follow him on Instagram at Bad Decisions Alex. The guy has just been like stacking footage, and he just works constantly on edits like all year round, and I mean, he is so close to running people over in his car. It's scary, but he gets amazing footage. And this video is absolutely no, I don't know, what would you say? It doesn't disappoint anyway. That's to say for damn sure. Like the music's great, the video's great, good sense of humor in it. I'm really glad that this guy's like on Skatehouse and he's filming just like so much stuff. It's pretty cool. He's from Valhalla Skateboards. He's the owner actually. So yeah, I definitely think you should check that out. And I think one of the last things I'm just going to touch on is, or last couple of things, I mentioned briefly that we had the street plant brand stuff in stock, and it comes from Mike Vallely. Now, you may or may not have heard of Mike V. He's been skating on a professional high level or whatever since the late 80s. He's basically gone through like several changes of skating to like where it's got to today. And he's a pretty cool guy, actually. I've been listening to like his podcast, and that's actually one of the things I want to recommend to you is the Mike V Show. So you can literally go to THEMIKEV show SHOW.com, or just look it up in iTunes, and it's actually a pretty good podcast. It doesn't actually have a lot necessarily to do with skating, but there's definitely a lot there I think would kind of benefit a lot of people. He talks about like being kind of passionate about what you do and like the reasons why you do stuff, and generally kind of like resonates quite well, at least with like me. I'm like 31 and I'm just like, shit, what am I doing in my life? And I listen to podcasts, I'm like, oh, okay, it's some people kind of still take their time to like figure out what they're doing, but as long as you kind of have that passion and stuff, then that's always a pretty good start, right? So yeah, I highly recommend the Mike V Show podcast. I think there's only like 8 or 9 episodes, but every one of them's like gold. I've pretty much saved every single one, just so I don't have to download them again to listen to them. And yeah, one last kind of dishonorable mention is I really think that you should go check out the work from a good friend, Ben Williams, on Instagram. You can find him under the username at Captain Monkey Hat. So basically it sounds like, like some kind of like seafaring mammal with a hat. So at Captain Monkey Hat, CAPTAINMONKEYHAT. He is basically one of the most prolific illustrators I know in person. Just the sheer amount of output that he has, and just like the kind of quality and the styling of it, it just blows my mind every time I see something new that he's done, that he's probably spent like a good couple of hours on, but just the kind of level of detail. I'd please go and follow him on Instagram, check out his stuff. Some of it is actually skate related. He's a great skater as well, just absolutely lovely guy. Last year I went down to like where he lived, and we kind of spent like just a day. We did like distance. We did like 8 miles pushing. Then we skated the shore in by Sea Bowl, and then I think we carried on pushing into Brighton, and then we ended up stuffing my face in Brighton. Then went like to Boulder, Brighton, like an indoor warehouse kind of thing. Basically ended up climbing. We just got back to his place, and we're just like, oh, let's play some like games on the snares and stuff. It's like, oh, only one controller works or some bollocks, and it was just like pretty fun guy, always up for a laugh, and it's good to see him like skating any kind of board, and just even when he's not on a board, really nice dude. Definitely check out his artwork. It's pretty top notch. Highly recommend it. So that's it for this week. I'm just going to do the kind of standard stuff, I guess. Remind you that you can get this feed, if you want this feed, pretty much any which way you want. So you can subscribe to the podcast on iTunes if I set it up in time. You can subscribe to us on YouTube and Vimeo. You can like us on Facebook. You can follow us on Periscope, and we have a website that has a blog on it, so pretty much everything should be on there. You can generally find us just by typing in Newton's Shred, so that's NEWTONSSHRED. Now there is actually like an apostrophe, is that an apostrophe or an accent? An apostrophe in Newton's, because it's like Newton's law, but Newton's Shred. Anyway, you'll find us even if you type it in wrong. So that's episode 1 of the Newton Shred multicast. I'm your host, Alex Ireton. I don't have a sign off yet, so hopefully I'll catch you at Bath to Bristol this weekend, and I'll do another update next week with just kind of stuff that's going on. And yeah, that's it. Have a good week. Laters.